Welcome back, everybody. We're already a month or so into the new school year. Are you already starting to run out of those old standbys when it comes to packing kids' lunches? You can maybe only do turkey and cheese and PB&J so many times. Savory chef at Abby Jane Bakeshop, Kimberly Krebs, is here to give us some inspiration. And really, I need this for my own lunch as well, because us adults in the working world, sometimes it's turkey and cheese and PB&J.
I know.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about Abby Jane Bakeshop, if you wouldn't mind just taking us from the top and what it is y'all offer. You said that there was a word that was going to come out of your mouth in the very first sentence, and that is stone ground flour.
Yes, so Abby Jane Bakeshop, we're right out in Dripping Springs, just right outside of Austin, so it's really not that far. And we specialize in creating pastries, sourdough artisanal breads, and lots of other things from stone milled flour, courtesy of our friends next door at Barton Springs Mill.
Oh, yeah. Really cool. It's handy to have good neighbors like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. And I know sourdough is traditionally lower on gluten, so even if you have maybe something like celiac, my nephew does, it's possible you can consume something like sourdough.
So I'm not a doctor, I won't say anything about celiac, but for gluten intolerance, absolutely. So sourdough fermentation decreases some of that gluten content. And in addition to that, the stone milled flour, because it's a more minimally sort of processed thing, it's going to have higher nutrients and lower amounts of gluten forming proteins because of the nature of the product.
When I think about this, the bread I buy at the store in comparison to like how gorgeous and dense and chocolatey even these breads look, I think, ooh, I need to be buying from a bakery. So we're going to learn a little bit more about you. And today we're actually kind of jazzing things up with a vegetarian approach to kids sandwiches or kids lunch boxes.
Right. So I know a lot of these condiments that we've got here are looking a little chefy because we do cater to kids and adults. But really, we just wanted to show you that vegetables do not have to be boring, especially when you're focusing on creating delicious condiments from things that you like, that you'll eat, and from things that you already have available around you.
Well, I love to hear that. Let's get into it. You've already sliced up. Is this just a traditional French baguette?
So yeah, it's our version of a French baguette. So this is going to be sort of a hybrid yeast and sourdough baguette. Delicious, got a blend of stone milled flours in there, and it's our favorite bread for a sandwich.
Okay.
Just because these holes, they capture condiments.
Oh,
and so you're
clever.
gonna get, more room, more bang for your buck when it comes to flavoring your entire sandwich.
That sounds good to me. Okay, and I'm looking at an array of things. Go ahead and walk me through it.
Alrighty, so let's start with the most familiar thing. So this is just mayonnaise that I've added some delicious things into. So I like cilantro. I added cilantro. We've got some roasted sweet Italian peppers in there, and I put some charred scallions in there as well. So since we're talking about kids' lunches, maybe your kids don't eat that, but this is a great way to sneak in extra flavor and vegetables that your kids might not notice. Anything that you want, you can just put in ready-made mayonnaise or make your own mayonnaise. Say you have like an infused oil in your cabinet that you don't know what to do with. You're tired of making...
I do.
Yeah. You're tired of making salad dressings with it. You can totally make an aioli or a mayonnaise with that infused oil, and then you've got your ready flavored condiment ready to go.
One side or both sides?
It's up to you. I am a two-side mayonnaise person.
I am a two-side mayonnaise person too, especially with all these yummy little holes where we're going to be capturing even more mayonnaise. And you can feel a little bit better about it as well, because as you just mentioned, there's at least 3 vegetables happening in there. So,
absolutely.
All right, so we're on both sides of the bread. Keep taking me through it here.
Okay, and so then from there, if you wanted to add another condiment, you could. The other 2 condiments I have here, I've got this green one is a chimichurri.
I love chimichurri.
Me too. So I've done it a little differently. Typically, chimichurri has red wine vinegar, a little bit of dried herbs like oregano, and then parsley and some red pepper flakes. I've done sort of a Texas version, so it's got fresh serranos. I put some basil and cilantro and parsley in there, and some fresh garlic. So it's sort of a fresher version of chimichurri that's
going to give you a power punch of flavor though too. And then what do we have here?
So this is a pesto. So it's vegan, so I didn't add cheese like a traditional pesto would have.
I'm glad you're shouting out for the vegans.
Yeah, vegans are awesome. We love vegetables, and you can still eat vegan even if you aren't on a plant-based diet.
I was gonna say, I love a vegetarian sandwich from time to time, and that's just because sometimes it's nice to have the vegetables be a little bit more forward. So
Totally.
you as a savory chef would definitely know that.
Yeah, and so that's a chipotle pecan pesto. So in Texas, we love pecans. Throw them in there. I put basil, some chipotle in there so you get some smokiness. So that's it for our condiments. Mix and match as you like. And also, you can do the same thing I did with the mayonnaise with the vegan mayonnaise, and this would be 100% vegan.
Okay, yeah, okay, 100% vegan, just one swap so far, which is incredible. Okay, and now I'm seeing some vegetables which you say may not always be right for kids' palates, but maybe you've got an adventurous eater, one.
Yes.
And two, maybe we can convert them.
Yes. So my number one thing when people can't figure out how to eat more vegetables is oftentimes we forget that making things flavorful is about the way that you cook them. So right here I've got some calabacita or squash, which is if you have a summer garden, you probably have too much of it. It's also very readily available at the grocery store, and it's really affordable. And so if you cut it into planks like this and then use really aggressive heat like on a pan or on your grill or even in the oven, the aggressive heat is going to give you that caramelization, which is flavor.
Yeah.
And also it keeps it with a little bit of texture, so you're not just getting like a really wet piece of squash.
Yeah.
It just makes it gives the sandwich body, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I absolutely love squash. I think I'm looking at mushrooms here, am
Yes,
I? Okay,
yes.
okay.
So
And
these
you're
are-
gonna
yeah.
have to tell me how to apply these.
So you can how to apply them. So you can put as much as you want on there. What I've done with those is they're a garlic sautéed oyster mushroom.
So you have put love into basically every ingredient that's going in here.
Love, also known as flavor, yes. So I used some garlic oil to cook those oyster mushrooms in, and I also added more garlic. So these are for a garlic-loving child or adult. But you could flavor those or marinate them any way you like. And then these peppers that you've got going there are just some sweet Italian peppers that I just roasted. Again, aggressive high heat in the oven. It might feel scary to heat your oven up to 450 degrees in the summer.
You don't want it to be a kiln.
Right, but the flavor happens fast when you use that aggressive heat.
Okay. Yeah. And then topping off with a little what looks like arugula?
Arugula, use that weird box of salad greens you've got. Or buy it fresh and use it delicious, farm fresh. But yeah, arugula is great because it has a snappy flavor. I like it because even though it's tender, it tends to sort of stand up over time, and it just adds another color.
You have so many interesting things to say about ingredients. We're gonna have you back, Kimberly.
I'd love to come back.
Okay, all right, and then obviously they do sweet things as well, but we had the savory chef. We had to learn a little bit more today. Something to keep in mind, y'all, as you're making those lunches. Kimberly, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, learn more about weekly specials and everything available right now at abbyjanebakes.com.